our next session, we have our spotlight session on democracy in data governance, for which we have amongst us Mr. Sanjay Kumar Das. A great round of applause. He's WBCS Executive Joint Secretary, Government of West Bengal, IT&E Department, and Member Secretary, Cybersecurity Center of Excellence. He's also a postgraduate diploma in rural development and educational technology and served the Intelligence Bureau for 4 years, and is also a diploma in training and development from the Indian Society, which makes him a trainer of trainers and can speak 5 other languages apart from his mother tongue. Can we have you on stage, sir? A great round of applause, please.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. How they could collect all this data will only tell that there is no security. If you go, you'll find out that other than LinkedIn, I don't have any profile. And that too, it came up in 2019 when our dear friend Shushoban told that if you want to speak and meet people, you need to have some social presence. So in order to become a social animal, I was required to come into LinkedIn. So right now I am a social animal before you. For the last 2 days, I was there selling my state in Electronica 2022 and at Greater Noida, Knowledge Park. So with that place, I left my voice because for the 2 days I had to pitch, spoke at 4 occasions, 2 sessions, and gave a lot of, one-on-one discussions as to how we could sell our state. Whether I could do that, only time will tell. But I understood that after 1994, when I did my post-graduation in physics, pure physics and my special paper was on solid state. This is the first time I came very near to electronics. So you understand what I told them, because all of them were masters in their own game, and I am completely an outsider. Similarly here, from what she told, there was no mention of cybersecurity, but I am here to talk about a little bit of cybersecurity. Yes, because you understand here when Dr. Charu talks about cybersecurity, she is actually dealing into an area where until very recently it was thought that only law enforcement agencies and their people could actually delve into. And that's why you would see that all organizations on cybersecurity are headed by law enforcement agency people. But cybersecurity is something pre-incident, and law enforcement agencies do activities post-incident. So when police is asked to actually promote football, that is how cybersecurity is thought of. So it is high time we broke that barrier and bring all people together, be it academician, be it a rank outsider like me, to talk. And that's why people like Mr. Sabbasachi Jena and his colleagues in Sartin, they love me. And we have been working with Sartin, and ours is the second state after Kerala to have the state cert. And I was very proud when I was talking to सवेरे जब बात कर रहा था राकेश अग्रवाल सर से, he was IT secretary in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and he is from that cadre. I told sir, ATS Mumbai was tasked to set up their state cert, and CERT actually advised ATS Mumbai to come to us, and they sent their team, they worked with us, and they are setting up their state cert. So at least, it is now becoming very clear that people all across should come into this bandwagon that is called cybersecurity. So if you just go into the, clear jacket that has been given to you, you will find out some, materials created by our organization, namely Cyber Security Center of Excellence, which came into being thanks to WannaCry. Had there been no WannaCry, the Cyber Security Center of Excellence would not have come. And thanks to my posting, because I was no portfolio. क्या करें? WannaCry हुआ. My principal secretary was Mr. Sanjay Kumar, who is right now secretary in the Government of India. He told कि आपके पास तो कोई काम नहीं है, तो आप देख के आइए WannaCry में क्या क्या खराबी हुई है. तो मैंने जब वो देख के आया तो मैंने देखा बहुत कुछ हो रहा है, और सभी जगह में जैसे in one power utility point where they were collecting this, तब तो ऑनलाइन उतना हुआ नहीं था, वो पावर जो यूटिलिटी बिल वो कलेक्ट कर रहे थे, they were using still the Windows XP without SP 2.0, the service pack 2.0. That was the one of the vulnerabilities that actually was exploited by WannaCry. So when I went into sat with them, I understood what is happening. I saw there were 3 networks they were accessing. So I was very flabbergasted. बहुत खराब लगा. Then I went into the next door, which was a block development office. I saw there were 5 networks, and all of them were open. Then I tried to complain about them. I went to the subdivisional office. I saw more pathetic situation. I was very aghast. I went into to the district magistrate to complain. लेकिन उसके पहले सोचा कि हमारा जो DPM है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर फ्रॉम IT डिपार्टमेंट, उनसे बात करें. तो उनसे जब बात करते करते मैंने बोला ये मैं देख के आया हूँ, मैं डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैजिस्ट्रेट के पास जाऊँगा. बोले सर आप मत चाहिए, हमारा कंडीशन और भी खराब है. तो आई केम बैक एंड आई टॉक टू मिस्टर तल्लीन कुमार. आई सेड क्या करे सर? तो उन्होंने बोला इट इज़ हाई टाइम वी हैव सम बॉडी. तो ही वेंट एंड ट्राइड टू एक्चुअली रन डाउन द हाईएस्ट अथॉरिटीज टू हैव एन ओवर एनकम्पसिंग बॉडी जो सबके ऊपर डंडा मार सके. तो हाईएस्ट अथॉरिटीज टोल्ड दैट साइबर सिक्योरिटी इज अ जॉब ऑफ पुलिस, इट इज़ नॉट योर्स. आप IT का सेक्रेटरी हो, IT में रहो. व्हाट आर यू ट्राइंग टू डू? तब उन्होंने बोला कि जब पुलिस के पास कोई चारा नहीं होगा, उसको भी तो किसी जगह जाना है. बोला हाँ वो जाना है. वो क्या सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के पास जाएगा? नहीं कभी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के पास नहीं जाएगा, हम सब स्टेट में ही करेंगे. देन ही टोल्ड चलो तब एक सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस खोल लेते हैं. बोला हाँ वो खोल लीजिए. दैट इज हाउ वी केम इनटू बीइंग. एंड टुडे वी आर हियर. Cyber Security Center of Excellence came into being in 2017. We are 5 years now. We actually look after 5 verticals, rather 4 verticals and 1 horizontal. Before going into that, I told that I have little bit of time. Shushoban put me a word that little bit of time would be given in grace because you have been waiting since morning and you came here at 9:20 before anybody could land. So at least आपको कुछ ज़्यादा वक्त दिया जाएगा. तो I thought कि आपके पास साइबर सिक्योरिटी सेंटर ऑफ एक्सेलेंस को भेज दूँ. कल तक तो स्टेट को बेच रहा था, आपके पास साइबर सिक्योरिटी सेंटर ऑफ एक्सेलेंस को भेज दूँ. तो there are 4 verticals. 2 verticals are before the incident, because you know that I don't think you know, in 1954 United Nations brought out this vertical called disaster management vertical in 1954. In 2004 United Nations brought out a vertical called disaster risk reduction vertical. 50 साल लग गया उनको ये समझने में कि मैनेज करना नामुमकिन है. इससे बेहतर है इसको रोकना. व्हाट डॉक्टर चारू मैडम वाज टेलिंग. 50 साल लगा. So we thought when we were doing at the last, West Bengal is always last, W से नाम होता है, so last है. So जब हम सर्वश्रेष कर रहे हैं तो बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस को लेकर करें. So we started with 2 verticals. The very first vertical is awareness and skill building, skill development. द सेकेंड वर्टिकल इज साइबर एश्योरेंस वर्टिकल. तो फर्स्ट तो आप समझ ही गए हैं. सेकेंड इज बहुत ईजी है. हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को दो चीज करना है. एक है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सिक्योरिटी असेसमेंट, और वो अगर वो कर नहीं पाए तो उसको करना ही करना है वेब एप्लीकेशन सिक्योरिटी असेसमेंट, जिसको आप सिक्योरिटी ऑडिट कहते हैं. दैट इज नॉट सिक्योरिटी ऑडिट. ऑडिट कैनॉट बी डन इन डिजिटल मोड, बिकॉज ऑडिट जब होती है वो खत्म हो जाता है. बिकॉज एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम 31 मार्च 2022 आपका खाते का बाएं तरफ दाहिने तरफ खत्म हो गया. और सिक्योरिटी ऑडिट कैसे करें? वेरी नेक्स्ट मोमेंट यू कैन बिकम वल्नरेबल. उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है. सो इट इज कॉल्ड वेब एप्लीकेशन सिक्योरिटी असेसमेंट एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सिक्योरिटी असेसमेंट. सो एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैज टू डू ISA, if not ISA, at least VASA. So once you start doing that, you have cyber assurance. Very simple. So we started with a cyber assurance program. And post incident, obviously, आपको incident response and mitigation करना है. उसमें आपको क्या जरूरत है? CCMP. CCMP होने से आपको बहुत कुछ ज्ञान आएगा. जब कुछ होगी तो you need to have a SOC. When you have a SOC, you need to have forensics. So post incident, the first vertical incident response and mitigation, and the fourth vertical is to support the LEA. अगर उनको कुछ ना करे तो हम तो नहीं रहेंगे, because cyber security is synonymous with LEA. लॉ एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसी अगर देखे कि ये वाला हमारे कुछ नहीं कर रहा है तो हमको ही तो खा लेगा, तो उनको भी तो कुछ करना है. तो we actually created a cyber forensic lab for them. It's a beautiful lab. And what we could do right now, very little, very simple. We could up till date train 3,600 plus. As we are speaking, it is 3,600 plus police force on first responder training. Mr. Agarwal was talking about that in most of the police stations, जो बंदा लिख रहा है उसको पता नहीं है कैसे FIR करे. हमारे साथ वो नहीं हो रहा है. And you go into the National Crime Records Bureau and you will find out, in our case, during the last 3 years, the number of reporting has increased 7 times. Just because we trained them how to report. Very simple. First responder training. जैसे कोई अंदर में आए, what is cyber crime? Is it a cyber crime? What is evidence? How to collect it? How to preserve? How to file a proper report. खत्म. 3 दिन में ट्रेनिंग खत्म. जाओ काम करो. Dedicated app is created for them in their mobile or the device. उससे हमारे साइबर सिक्योरिटी सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस के साथ 24/7 उसकी कनेक्शन है. दैट इज नॉट ओपन एंड अवेलेबल ऑन गूगल प्ले स्टोर. वेरी सिंपल, कुछ भी नहीं है. देन इफ यू ट्रेन देम, देन वी हैव दिस ऐसा एंड वैसा. अगर करेंगे, इफ यू डू दैट इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, यू नीड टू ट्रेन द पीपल, द गवर्नमेंट पीपल. गवर्नमेंट पीपल में जितने आप हैं आप जरूर जानते होंगे, बिकॉज ऑल ऑफ यू मस्ट बी हैविंग सम रिलेटिव्स इन गवर्नमेंट्स. तो गवर्नमेंट पीपल में ट्रेनिंग के लिए अगर बुलाया जाता है 2 तरीके से जाना पड़ता है. एक, आप बॉस को खुशी कर दें कि बहुत दिन छुट्टी नहीं मिली, प्लीज सेंड मी. तो वो अगर खुश हैं आपको छोड़ देंगे, जैसे मुझे छोड़ देते हैं, मैं यहाँ आकर के आपके साथ बात कर रहा हूँ. और बॉस को आपको अच्छा नहीं लगता, जैसे मुझे नहीं लगते, उसीलिए फिर छोड़ देते हैं. People are identified on these 2 bases. You are not required in the department, go and have training. अब छुट्टी नहीं मिली, जाओ जाकर के ट्रेनिंग कर लो. तो हमने सोचा ऐसे लोगों को ट्रेनिंग देकर के कोई फायदा नहीं है. तो वी हैव स्टार्टेड ऑन द जॉब ट्रेनिंग. सो वी गो स्ट्रेट इनटू योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड ट्रेन यू देयर. In Bengali, there is a writer who was the father of Satyajit Ray. His name was Sukumar Ray. He told, अगर आपको दिमाग में कुछ ना समझे तो उसको हम छेद करेंगे, घुसा देंगे और प्लास्टर ऑफ पेरिस से बंद कर देंगे. तो हम वैसे करते हैं. We go there, train them and give them certificate. Prove that you know. अभी आप समझो नहीं, जानते नहीं है. जैसे ही वो हो जाता है और उसके साथ साथ ISA एंड वासा होता है. So they understand how to understand telltale signs. Very simple. बफरिंग होने से सिस्टम एडमिन को बताओ, ये कॉम्प्रोमाइज की साइन है. व्हाट इज द टेलटेल साइन? जैसे अगर टैंक टैंक आवाज होती है तो उसमें आपका रैम चला गया. फड़फड़ा से आवाज होती है, फैन चली गई. ऐसे हम सोचे थे, हम छोटे से ऐसे करके बड़े हुए. तो this is how you train your people. Very simple. So we have trained more than 20,000 people on that. Very simple. कोई दिक्कत नहीं. So we need to actually take it down because catch them young. तो हमने साइबर क्राइम के ऊपर कॉमिक बुक बनाए, बहुत सारे ढेर सारे वीडियोस बनाए, हमारे वेबसाइट में जाने से आपको मिलेगा. एंड एवरी डॉक्यूमेंट ऑफ आवर्स इज IPR फ्री. इसीलिए सुशोभन की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या इन्फोसेक फाउंडेशन उसके ऊपर अपना ठप्पा लगाया है. नॉट ओनली दे डिड दैट, यूनियन बैंक डिड दैट, हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट डिड दैट, तेलंगाना गवर्नमेंट डिड दैट, महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट इज डूइंग दैट, आंध्र प्रदेश गवर्नमेंट इज डूइंग दैट, कर्नाटका हैज asked, we are giving them option. You can do that. All of you go back, डाउनलोड, अपना ठप्पा लगाओ, चेंज करो, कॉपी करो, बनाओ, दे दो. नो IPR. हम लोगों को सैल्यूट भी नहीं देना है, चिट्ठी भी नहीं डालना है, ईमेल भी नहीं करना है, थैंक यू वेरी मच, नहीं. बिकॉज अवेयरनेस नीड्स टू बी ऑल परवेसिव. सबके पास पहुंचना है, ये किसी के एक की काम नहीं है. तो when we do that, we understand that reaching to the school, you need to train the teachers. So we have started cyber shikshak. All from last year, जो भी +10 and +12 state board से देते हैं, उनको हम ऑफर देते हैं for undertaking 20 hours and 30 hours cyber सहज पाठ online training. For every government official, the cyber Shadhinata program of 20 hours is open. So everywhere this training is happening. As Dr. Charu was telling, all our self-learning modules is coming up. You can access them at your own pace. अच्छा नहीं लगे हम लोग को बताइए, हम अच्छा कर देंगे. और अच्छा कुछ आपके पास हो, शेयर कीजिए, उसको ही उठा देंगे. From yesterday, I must tell you, from yesterday we have been thinking about it. We got it approved by MeitY also, a document which is for the training of all advocates. We thought कि चलो बहुत सारे कंप्लेन होना चालू हो गए, तो उसमें तो अभी इन्वेस्टिगेशन होगी. इन्वेस्टिगेशन भी हो जाएगा बिकॉज FRT हो रहा है, उसके बाद DRT है. और अच्छा, बाय द वे वी हैव ऑलरेडी ट्रेंड नियरली 1000+ ऑफिसर्स, inspectors and above on DRT, detailed responder training. It's a 5-day training on investigation and forensic. वो भी चालू चल रहा है पैरेलली. तो अभी जैसे इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो रहा है, तो इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बाद कोर्ट में कौन प्लीड करेगा? एडवोकेट्स. हाउ मेनी एडवोकेट्स आर देयर who are well versed on cyber crime remediation or this investigation? From yesterday, West Bengal government started training advocates. Yesterday, 232 advocates of Asansol Bar Association got trained for the one day. Out of them, 39 actually already enrolled for our 40 hours online course yesterday night itself. And our target is to train at least 5,000 advocates this year alone. That means this calendar year, I am talking about the calendar year. And अगर 5,000 को हम one day की ट्रेनिंग दे, उससे अगर 100 आदमी डिटेल ट्रेनिंग ले, तो at least our reporting which is happening will be actually taken forward after investigation. And last but not the least, we have another, over-encompassing umbrella which is known as Research and Development Wing. Our state is the first state and till now the only state to bring out the diploma in cyber security for polytechnics. Find out how many MSMEs and startups can afford IITs and NITs. I do not think many of them. तो ये जो साइबर सिक्योरिटी की जो 25 सितंबर के बाद से आपको कंप्लायंस है, तो वो कौन करेगा, कौन समझेगा इन लोगों के लिए? कोई है इनके पास? इसीलिए वर्चुअल CISO is coming up, CISO as a service. There are at least 3 very prominent platforms that have been developed over the last 2.5 years, जहाँ virtual CISO दे रहे हैं, लेकिन virtual CISO से काम नहीं चलेगा. You need people there, because आपने बताया PPT, people, process and technology. तो आपको जरूरत है. तो people से कैसे, जब तक वो ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस तक नहीं जाएगा तब तक रोबोट कैसे, आरपीए कैसे इसको रिप्लेस करेगा. सो वी आर राइट नाउ एक्चुअली creating a specific, by the way, that polytechnic course was approved by AICTE, and it is right now being taught in many polytechnics. We have created cyber security guard, vocational training course for anybody, any physical security guard to upgrade himself or herself. We have joined hands with West Bengal University of Technology, which is known as Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology of West Bengal, and we are coming up with, from 1st November, with postgraduate diploma in cyber law and cyber forensics. Sir and madam, these are the small things that we are trying to do, and for somebody like you professionals, we have a beautiful thing which has become a craze, that is called secure coding practice. We have opened it up for the professionals. We understood that if the codes are not serene, secured, sanitized, as well as a device, you cannot have a solid application for your safety. So with that, let me go into my rather recent love, that is democracy and data governance. So as we are speaking, and in the meantime, actually the recent bill was scrapped on data privacy, I really started questioning myself, why should we really need any data privacy act? Do you think that we need? Just tell me. If somebody says, at least one, anybody, do you really think it is needed? Needed? I do not find you, sir. Because if you have listened to Dr. Duggal, he actually mentioned 3 very prominent sections. One of them is section 70. तो है ना, जो अगर सरकारी आदमी मैं जैसे आपसे पूछूं कि आपका नाम क्या है, तो आप मुझे बता देंगे, आपका डिटेल्स मांगू दे देंगे. जैसे कोई यूनिवर्सिटी मुझे मांगे तो मैं दे दूंगा, वहाँ पढ़ रहा हूँ. लेकिन उसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है उसकी प्राइवेट उसको रखने के लिए. 70 उसको कहता है, 70 एंड 70A कहता है वो अगर प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हो उसको करना है. सिमिलरली इट इज 72 and 72A, आई एम सॉरी, 72 and 72A. 72A is for the government and 72A is for the private. So we really do not want. If you go into the detailed judgment of Honorable Supreme Court, you will find out beautiful understanding out of that 72, section 72. And it is an omnibus section which can take care of all privacy things. And there are others. I am not here to talk about, that legality. But I would just like to tell you that our IT Act, as it is a prevailing act as per section 81, other than the patents and the copyright, it actually overrides every other act. So it is a very potent act. If we can utilize it, it can take care of most of the privacy thing. So for that matter, I would go into this and I would say that it is high time we start understanding that data is our right and it is our democratic right. It is 5 years from Puthuswamy judgment where privacy was declared to be our fundamental right. So let us go into this. India ranked 3rd in the world in number of data breaches. I am just referring to it. More than 86.63 million Indian users were breached in 2021. And it is actually data. And August 16, ET CISO, because here I hope there are CISO, no? And all CISOs, most of the CISOs definitely read Economic Times or take, fades or RSS fades from, though I am not a CISO, but I take that. And from that, personal data and transaction details of 37,000 Indians leaked online. On August 16, it told. I'm just referring because, and this is PII and SPII. What is PII? Personally identifiable information. So what is SPII? Sensitive personally identifiable information. What is the difference between personally identifiable information and sensitive personally identifiable information? Very easy. You add your health records to it. Let me give you a very, sweet example. I hope I have bored you enough. Very recently, I had COVID for the third time or fourth time, I don't know. But I have been actually shaking hands with COVID just like I shook hands with many of you. So, as I am 52 right now, so my friends told that it is high time you went to a doctor. उसके पहले मेरा कोई घर का जो डॉक्टर है, जो दोस्त है, उनके चलते हुए मैं सिर्फ सवेरे एक प्रेशर का दवाई लेता हूँ. इसलिए नहीं, शायद मेरी वाइफ लेती है इसलिए मैं लेता हूँ. It might be also the question, I don't know. So, without that I don't take any dawai. I am overweight, I am a threat to the entire world around me, but even then I am just pushing. So after 3 or 4 COVIDs, my friends pushed me to go and meet a doctor. Prior to that, they were very kind enough कि 2 बार डॉक्टर के पास जाकर के 1500, 3,000 रुपया खर्च करने का जरूरत नहीं है. You undertook all these tests. So I took all those tests. करके लेके गया, and doctor took nearly 20 minutes and wrote 2 pages and found out that I am really a threat to the entire mankind. And he told me whether I would require, this counseling because I am stressed. How he could understand, I cannot tell you. But after 20 minutes of torture, I came out of his chamber. I found out one dawai, medicine that is known to me is my pressure medicine. Other than that, I have never heard of others. Before I could do anything, the lady who was, an evangelist waiting outside his door, she jumped onto me, captured, snatched the prescription without even anything I could comprehend. She took 2 photographs of the 2 pages. Fantastic. I was flabbergasted. I told, what did you do? Well, I was trying to help you. How? So that I can guide you. क्या क्या आपको करना है, कौन आपके पास जाएगा, कहाँ आप जाएंगे, वैसे वैसे. तो मैंने बोला, is it a smartphone? She told yes. मैंने बोला, do you have Twitter? No, absolutely. मैंने बोला, do you know what did you do? She told no. Now, you have actually made the entire world know that I take LZH medicine at 8 o'clock in the morning for my hypertension. How? मैंने कहा कि 2019 में ज्वाइंट सेशन ऑफ सेनेट और हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स में जैक डॉर्सी ने बताया, यूट्यूब में अवेलेबल है, 1888 platforms copy every data that is available on Twitter. And there are innumerable platforms which have, thumbnails of that. So when you put a picture or any document or anything on Twitter, it is being copied in 1888 places. So, and when you download Twitter, you allow it to access your device. So it is 1889. So there cannot be anything personal when we say मेरा प्राइवेट एक मोमेंट का तस्वीर जो है उन्होंने उठा दिया. कोई नहीं उठाया है, सबके पास है, उसके पास आपका कॉन्सेंट नहीं है इसीलिए उठा नहीं रहा है. So there cannot be anything that is captured in a mobile phone and not shared with the world. Right now it is not visible because you are not given the consent. As soon as you consent, it will be visible to the entire world. So that is the threat that we are looking at. So the breach that is actually here is the consented breach. जब कोई जाकर के बताता है कि मेरी लड़की का तस्वीर जो है उठा दिया उसमें, the issue is that लड़की had taken a private moment's photo or something preserved in in this thing, mobile. लेकिन उसके बाद जिसके पास शेयर किया है, किसी ने कॉम्प्रोमाइज की, कुछ भी हुआ है, लेकिन उसके पहले उन लोगों के पास ऑलरेडी था. The difference between the consented data and non-consented data is the greatest challenge before this world. So my dear friend, if you just look into it, when we actually talk about our name, no problem. When we talk about our name, we don't care if I ask somebody or somebody asks me, we immediately tell our name. Because it is valueless. Sanjay is such a common name, anybody can actually, starting with Mahabharata, it is available. So it cannot be, bought and sold. So when it is data, like, you add an attribute to my name, that means my mobile number, it is of value, because with that you can actually profile me. You can come back to me, you can call me, you can give somebody to contact me. So it has become a data. Before that, it was simply a fact. It is having value. So when you add to it some which are not to be shared, like your voter identity card, Aadhaar card, bank details, health details, they become personally identifiable information. And once they are shared, you definitely do care. Just imagine, what did you do? While coming into this, you have signed somewhere which could have been, anybody could have taken a snap of it, and from that 1889 platforms have already had a copy of that, and with innumerable thumbnails of it. So without going into the details, we understand that from the basic attitude of our I don't care, we immediately land into I really care. So there cannot be anything that I do not care. There is everything. From the moment you wake up, you are responsible for your own data, and nobody other than that. So we actually must have a decision dilemma. Just I was talking about coming to the conference, asking about name. We do that, give that on the fly. You ask me, where do you work? In West Bengal with West Bengal government. I do not care about, because it is obvious. Otherwise, how could you know me? You ask my email, मैं सोचूंगा मुझे कोई CV भेजेंगे आप, या टेक्नो कमर्शियल डॉक्यूमेंट भेज देंगे, आपके वहाँ कुछ करना है. So I will definitely have little bit of jittery. But when you actually ask me about the mobile number, I start having fear. The issue is, the dilemma should start from the start point of, asking the name itself. Because yesterday I was just giving an example to somebody, and I was telling him that if I tell that at this point of time, this very vehicle is going on this road at this point without exposing myself. That means I, Sanjay Kumar Das, am not exposed. I say a vehicle number DL 1533 passes through or in front of La Meridian or Le Meridian at such and such time. I am profiled. How? Very simple. At that point of time, it is only at La Meridian, and there could be only a finite number of people who could have seen. It might be 10,000, 20,000, 1 crore, but you are into that table. So today or tomorrow, you will be identified. Are you getting my point? So when we are increasing the proportion, that means it is from 1:1 to 1:n, and n tends to infinity. We are reducing the possibility. But possibility remains. Isn't it? If the n is a finite number, possibility remains. So we should delve into, deep into, अपनी जहन में अंदर में चले जाना है और सोचना है what we need to know. Start by having those things which you really need to know. If you do not know,
there is no threat of dissipating it or sharing it. If you do not know, you are unable to spill. मुझे अगर बताया जाए, पूछा जाए कि दिल्ली में उस जगह में क्या हुआ है, वहां मर्डर हुई है, कौन हुआ है, मैं अगर वहां नहीं था, मुझे नहीं पता है, अब जितना भी मुझे टॉर्चर करे, मैं बता नहीं पाऊंगा, because I was not there, isn't it? The knowledge is not with me, so I can't tell. So it is called the need to know principle, because identification is only required. You need to identify me. And more than identification is either you are verifying me, whether you want to actually deal with me, or you want to promote yourself or promote me. So we need to actually have a decision-making process as to what amount of data I should share in order to just identify me. I should have the right to identify myself. And if I do not want, I won't identify myself. So, what I have just told, that identity is only to identify, and there should always be limits of identification and rights of identification. You cannot just but expose that Mr. Das is speaking here without my consent, even if it is a public fact. If it is known to the world that Mr. Das is speaking, as Shushobhan is actually, transmitting it through Facebook Live, they are recording it, this entire CCTV is capturing and all, but there is a finite number behind it. So I know to whom I have reached. And whether I am actually doing this with purpose, or whether I am not doing this with purpose, that is the issue. I know that it would be happening, and that's why I have decided to come and speak. Had I thought that it would have created a problem for me, I would not have come and speak before you and allowed this thing to be recorded. That is called our fundamental right of privacy, because identity is only to identify, and there should be limits of identification and rights of identification. So, what is the answer? Answer is very easy. It is called anonymization of data. So, if we do not share any data, what will happen? No solution will survive. Why? Because everyone needs proof of concept. Every solution today, in order to reach to the last mile, if you have a solution, even UPI must have had its beta version run on real transactions. Otherwise, आपको कैसे पता वो काम करेगा कि नहीं? जैसे मैं उनको बता रहा था कि आप मेहरबानी करके आइए, हम आपको हमारे स्टेट डेटा सेंटर में एक POC करवाएंगे. तो POC करने से मुझे पता चलेगा वो सॉल्यूशन काम करेगी हमारे पास, है ना? That is the only way to know. But what we do, we sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. उसका कोई फायदा है? कुछ दिन के बाद तो मैं ही चला जाऊंगा यहाँ से ट्रांसफर होकर के, और जो बंदा मेरे साथ साइन किया है वो भी कोई दूसरे जॉब में चला जाएगा, और NDA दोनों तरफ एक पन्ने की तरह गिरा रहेगा, और उसके अंदर उसके जरिए जो डेटा उसके पीछे था कोई बेच देगा. और आज से 3 साल बाद कोई सोल्यूशन आकर के स्टेट डेटा सेंटर को बताएगा कि 2020-21 में आपका जो ट्रांजैक्शन या 21-22 पे जो ट्रांजैक्शन हुआ था उसमें ये वल्नरेबिलिटी थी, और देखिए हमारा सोल्यूशन इसको जानता है. No, that is happening. That is happening right now. Most of the applications are going through POC by purchasing data from the black market or compromising people insider knowledge. We share that data. आप बताइए, आप सुना नहीं कि आपका लड़का NEET में या JEE मेंस में आपका लड़का 1439 रैंक किया है, या 14,390 रैंक किया है, हमारे कॉलेज में चले आइए। कैसे उनको पता? देयर इज नो डिटेल लिस्ट पब्लिश्ड इन ऑन एनी पोर्टल, कहीं भी पोर्टल आजकल नहीं पब्लिश होती। ओनली यू नो योर रैंक until you expose it to somebody else। तो कैसे पता? जो लोगों के पास इनिशियल जब काउंसलिंग हो जाती है, जो थर्ड पार्टीज काउंसलिंग करते हैं एनडीए साइन करके, वो पूरा डेटा भेज देता है। तो इसीलिए मेरा लड़का फर्स्ट ईयर कंप्लीट कर चुका था, तब भी मेरे पास फोन आता रहा कि आपका लड़का को आप इंजीनियरिंग में वहां डालो, क्योंकि वो तब बंदा ने वो खरीदा था, 1 साल पुराना चीज जो है वो बंदा तब खरीदा था। तो आई एम टेलिंग यू दिस एनडीए हैज नो वैल्यू until and unless you do anonymize। What is anonymize? Nothing, very simple है। आप पर्सनली आइडेंटिफाइबल इंफॉर्मेशन से जो पर्सनल चीज है उसको हटा दीजिए, नॉट बाय रिडैक्टिंग, ब्लैक टेप लगा देने से या आपका स्याही लगा देने से नहीं चलेगा। इट इज नॉट बाय पुटिंग ब्लैक इंक ऑन इट और मास्किंग। संजय को विजय बना देने से कुछ नहीं होगा। विजय से सब कुछ पता चलता है वो अमिताभ ही है। हर फिल्म में वो दूसरा नाम लेने से वो अमिताभ हमारे पास ही रहता है, बिकॉज एंड में आपको पता चल जाता है उसका असली नाम क्या है जब रोल ऑफ ये होता है। तो मैं यही बता रहा हूं कि आपके रिडैक्टिंग से, ये आपके मास्किंग से एनोनिमाइज नहीं होती। एनोनिमाइज इज अ स्टेनर। इट्स जैसे आज सवेरे आपने चाय पिया, उसमें जो आपने चाय जब उबालने के बाद आपने डाला है, दैट स्टेनर इज एनोनिमाइजर। दैट स्टेनर स्टेन्स योर पर्सनल डेटा एंड मेक्स इट impersonal। And today morning it was being referred to that some of the organizations are asking to share data in an anonymized manner, but even then that is not anonymized. Anonymization is a process through which you have to extract the personality out of the personal data. So that's why we are starting with November 1st the National Anonymizer Hackathon by Government of West Bengal with Sapio Analytics. All over the country it will be, we will hold it, and please do join. It has 2 parts. One is Ideathon. That means we will ask you to propose a solution, and those proposals will be put before the coders and the thinkers to bring out an application which can actually extract personal identifiable information से उसका personality, personal portion को उसको निकाल के वो सिर्फ information बना देता है। So from data it will become a fact, and then you don't have any problem. You create an anonymized data lake and you give it out to industry for creating easy and affordable solutions for the entire human race. And in order to do that, in 2020 December, Government of West Bengal in the Department of IT brought out a policy, namely West Bengal Transactional Data Sharing Policy. And through that we enabled it. We went through a due diligence. Sapio Analytics actually came into with the best process, and we are holding hands with them, and we are bringing out the Anonymizer Hackathon, and it will have pan-India, this reach. Even in Delhi, we will be having a whole day event where we will actually magajmari करेंगे आप लोगों के साथ, आपको पूछेंगे, आपसे सलाह लेंगे, आपको force करेंगे to come up with ideation, come up with challenges, come up with problem statements so that a solution can be achieved. And when that solution is available, that solution will also be given to the entire industry as a service from the Government of West Bengal, so that all of you in your organization can use that solution and anonymize the transactional data. Before I end, let me tell you, I hope you do not see many advertisement of car getting sold. Not only cars are not sold in so many numbers, but you just think about this, as the cars are they ply on the road and the data are captured through CCTV. From that, the metadata is analyzed and the companies can now understand where to focus. And that's why right now you would understand that, you know, this आकाश क्या क्या होता है, वो जो बाइजू वगैरह जो एडवर्टाइजमेंट आती है वो सभी जगह नहीं आती, वो लोकेशन वाइज आती है. Because all these data which are traveling through third party servers, they are having a time lag, and during that time period that server gets a copy that is getting sold in the black market after getting analyzed. My dear friends, welcome to the jungle of this data, and anonymizer as a service is required for conducting proof of concept. हम लोगों की बहुत simple सी observation है. Because in democracy, in data governance, democracy is our right. There is no question about it. And data is asset because we are the owner of the data. And governance is the collaborative and collective responsibility. And this is the most important slide. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative and in-depth knowledge about the democracy in data governance. And now I would be inviting Mr. Bhuitesh Mishra ji to please present. Shomnath ji, sir, to please present the token of gratitude to a great round of applause, please.